Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Another very commonly asked question is, my parents have passed away and I cannot come out of that. And I am in so much pain and I'm in so much sorrow. I can't even think straight. Can you please tell me, how can I come out of this? Now, it doesn't matter if it's just the father or the mother or both. Parents are not replaceable. I mean, when they go away, it is something like all life long you remember them. But there comes a time in your life where you tell the memories of your parents to others without getting so emotional about it. But there are times in life when you remember them with emotions. Initially, the pain is so intense that a thought of them, looking at an object that belongs to them, it just overwhelms you. You cannot just control yourself. But at the end of the day, you cannot stop living, because you got to live for those who are still around you. What have they done to you? They still need you. You cannot stop giving attention to the people who are still alive and around you for those who have passed away. Remember, from the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was born, his father already passed away. When he was 6 years old, think about it, a kid that is going into the first grade, just came out of the kindergarten and going to the first grade, that was his age when his mother passed away. He was only 8 years old when his grandfather passed away. When he needed his wife the most, she passed away. When he needed his uncle the most, he passed away. His 2 infant sons passed away at the time when people of Makkah were turning against him so much that when his second son Abdullah passed away, they started calling him names. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had to send down Surah Al-Kawthar. And look at the very last ayah of that. Inna shaniyaka huwa al-abtar. You do not need to worry, O Prophet. It is your enemies who will be without any remembrance. It is you who will be remembered, because وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ. All of these ayahs are showing empathy, comfort, strength through the process of Iman. So don't give up. لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله. Never lose hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you crying and pouring out your emotions, that is okay, as long as you don't complain, because that is against the sabr. Because remember, Jannah is my motivation, right? Everybody's motivation is what? Jannah. And when your parents leave this world, they are not gone. Remember that. We all came from the world of souls, where we were just souls. Now in this world, the soul was given a body. Now we got to know them at a soul level and a body level. Then they transition to the next world, the world of barzakh, where their body and soul are separate yet connected. So they're living in the world of souls, which is the barzakh world. And if they're going through any good time or bad time, whatever it is going through with the soul, in the grave, body is feeling it, even though body is turned into a dust. Still feeling it. There's a connection there. On the day of judgment, this soul that is in the world of barzakh will be brought back, and this body will grow like crops. Everybody's bodies will be growing from the ground like crops. And the soul will then be placed back in the body. And if the body is destined with the soul to enter into Jannah, then the body will be recreated in a way so that it can sustain Jannah, because this body cannot sustain Jannah. This body is made for here. It can only sustain here. And for those who will be entering the hell, their bodies will then be made according to the hell. I will talk about it some other times, and just to give you a brief idea that some of their bodies will be enlarged so much so that they can be punished more and more, that their tooth will be the size of the Mount Uhud. Between their two shoulder blades, it will be like 3 miles distance. Their body will be huge, enlarged. They will be the size of a city, so that more and more of them can be punished, like more parts of them can be punished. That's a different deal. That's for those who are to be doomed, they are to be suffering in the hellfire forever. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from that. So remember, the journey has not stopped. The journey is still going. So as a believer, what should be thinking is, inshallah, when I go to Barzakh, where they are, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate them to a level where they are in harmony and peace and in the blessings of Allah and no punishment. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make me meet them at a similar level, that I'm not punished either. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a peaceful, blessed time together in Barzakh. And inshallah, on the Day of Judgment, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enter all of us in Jannah. And we will live there forever, together, seeing each other whenever we want. And no worries, no sickness, no disease, no aging. Subhanallah. That's exactly what we're hoping for, right? Jannah is my motivation, right? So think like that. Now, you crying doesn't help them. You love them, right? You love them. Definitely you love them. That's why you're crying for them. But your crying doesn't help them. What will help them is your du'as. Make du'a for them. Do good deeds and say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them reward of this good deed that you're doing. For example, you donate some money in good cause. Any good cause. And with an intention that Allah give them reward of this good cause. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not take any reward from you. Remember, it's not like your account is zero and they get all the reward. No, you get the reward and they also get the same reward. If that good deed had a reward of 1,000 hasanas, it's not like they get 500 and you get 500. No. You get 1,000 and they get 1,000. And you can even distribute it in multiple people. Like, for example, oh Allah, I'm giving these $200 towards the construction of this masjid, or I'm giving these $200 to help the orphans in Palestine, or I'm giving this much money to educate a kid, or I am creating backpacks for the needy and the poor kids, or I am helping the soup kitchen. I am whatever, in whatever capacity, any good deed that you can do. Oh Allah, my intention is, oh Allah, you're giving me reward, but I also want this to be given to my parents. And if that good deed was, let's say, 100,000 hasanas, each one of you will get the 100,000 hasanas. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Kareem. He is Ghani. You know, we think like that, okay, if it gets distributed, everybody gets less. No, not in His court. It's pretty much like happiness. If you're happy and you tell that good news to somebody who is very sincere to you, does it reduces your happiness? No, it increases the happiness, because now 2 people are happy. If they tell it to 4 people, now 6 people are happy. So this is how happiness grows. Exactly the same way the hasanas grow. It gets deposited in everybody's accounts. And if they have passed away, then of course they need it the most. These hasanats may help them if they are in any kind of a trouble, punishment. Make dua for them. And your parents are alive or passed away, doesn't matter. I will tell you a dua from the Quran. I want you, if you are close to a mushaf or a copy of the Quran, I want you to grab it right now. Maybe pause the video. I want you to open the Quran and go to Surah Al-Isra, which is also called Surah Bani Israel. So it has 2 names. So grab a copy of the Mus'haf or the Quran and go to Surah Al-Isra or Surah Bani Israel. This surah scroll down to ayah number 24. In ayah number 23, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to us how you must be treating your parents, right? Ayah number 24, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us a dua, and this dua is not just for those parents who are alive. It is also for those who have passed away. What is the dua? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling that, O Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, directly teaching to his own Prophet. And that is an example for us, right? Qul, and say what? Rabbir hamhuma. O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be merciful unto both of them. Kama rabbayani saghira. As they were merciful to me when I was little. I couldn't do a thing. I couldn't even change my diapers. I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't move. I couldn't even sleep without somebody putting me to bed. Whatever. I was helpless. And they were so merciful to me. Oh Allah, I cannot pay them back. I can't. Doesn't matter what I do. But oh Allah, you can reward them for that. Be merciful to them. And this be merciful to them is not just limited to this life alone. It is for this life and hereafter. Because Allah's mercy is everywhere. You're asking Allah to be merciful to them. So what is Allah's mercy? He will forgive them. If they are in the barzakh, in any kind of punishment, if they're going through any hard time in barzakh, Allah's mercy will be on them and they may be forgiven. You don't know. Just keep asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Teach this dua to your kids. Tell them to ask this dua for you as a habit. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is beautiful. Rabbir hamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. 5 words. That's it. If you want to say it in Arabic, that's the best, right? Because it's coming from the Quran. But if Arabic is not your language, and you have difficulty saying it in Arabic, that's okay. Say it in your own language. Say the translation of these words. I just gave it to you. Open the Quran. Go to Surah Al-Isra. Go to ayah number 24. Look at the translation of this ayah in your own language. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also ask in Arabic. Can you not do that for your own parents? Just learn 5 words in Arabic? Right? You can do that, right? You learned so much in your life. You can easily remember 5 words. Rabbir hamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. You do not have to say the word qul, because that is not part of the dua. That is Allah's instruction to his Prophet to say. So the dua starts from word Rabbir hamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Ameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Hang in there. Be strong. لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله. Never ever lose hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah be with all of you. Till next time. Assalamu alaikum.